We're going to start with The Nation. Major headlines: stop giving political meanings to judicial matters, says AGF. Africa Development Bank floats $100 million entrepreneurship investment for youths. LP battle shifts to Anambra with parallel candidates. Dangote refinery slashes petrol ex-depot price to 865 naira. How to achieve stable power by Bathanaji. And ministers woo French investors with Nigerians pro-business reforms. A brace for flooding in Lagos, FCT, Oyo, Delta, and 26 other states, says NIMET. Okay, which story starting with?
The Attorney General of the Federation, Minister for Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, was speaking at the book launch. An autobiography, no, I don't know. I think it's a biography or autobiography. The autobiography of the late Ajibola, Prince Bola Ajibola, who was also former Attorney General under military Milad Babangida at the time. So he was speaking at that event, and the book it was titled "Tribulations and Trophies," Bola Ajibola in his own words. And he used the opportunity to address those talking about the appointment of the administrator in Rivers State, saying that we should stop looking at matters from emotional partisan point of view and only look at matters as, you know, through the books, through the constitution particularly, saying that on this issue of the administrator of Rivers State, that he has chosen to keep quiet since the matter is already in court. If you have subjected it to the court, then you wait the outcome of the court according to him. He says that people like to stir up emotions and, you know, whip up sentiments, but when matters are before institutions, they should be allowed to, you know, do the time with the institutions. And use the opportunity to also talk about the qualities of the late Prince Bola Ajibola, who passed in 2023 at the age of 89, saying he was a man of sterling qualities and impeccable character and integrity, and that he was always known for speaking the truth. As his time as AG, and also as his time at the Hague, the International Criminal Court of Justice at the Hague.
Excuse me.
So generally, that was what it was about.
All right, so I have the story where, you know, as many of you know, the president and some ministers are in France right now. So according to this story, the federal government is wooing favorable investors, foreign investors, to thrive, to come to Nigeria, to thrive. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, was speaking yesterday. He urged foreign investors to maintain an abiding interest in the country's economy through ongoing bold reforms. According to him, they offer dynamic market potential and investor-friendly environments for successful business operations in the country. Idris emphasized Nigeria's commitment to fostering deeper economic ties with France while speaking at the Nigeria's Business Forum in Paris. He expressed appreciation to long-standing French partners operating in Nigeria, including Total Energies, Lafarge, Peugeot, Damon, Alstom, and Schneider Electric for their contributions across key sectors within the country. So, I mean, I guess, you know, we all know that our president is in France, so part of which was a working visit. So he's there with a few ministers, and they're trying to see what they can do to get more investors from France to work in Nigeria. Okay. Any other story?
Yeah, so I have the Labour Party story. They said the protracted Labour Party crisis shifted to Anambra State, where the National Caretaker Committee, headed by Senator Esther Ninadi Usman, picked Jude as governorship candidate. They said, but the National Working Committee is led by Julius, because they've been having issues with the Julius and the Ninadi, as illegal, saying that it had already submitted George Moalu's name to INEC. So they said Moalu, a former managing director of Nigeria Inland Waterways Agency, he declared that he remains the party standard bearer for the November 8 poll, and that the other name that was submitted is not the right name. So he said that Governor Alex Oti was legal, insisting that Abure's tenure as national chairman has expired. And he also said that LP had held ward, local government and state congresses. The party has not been able to hold its national convention in a long time. And then they also said Moali described the NCC as people without destination, added that he had already received a certificate to return from the INEC. So they've just been having this crisis off and on, and we're hoping that it gets resolved soon.
Okay.
Yes, I have African Development Bank floats $100 million entrepreneurship investment bank for youths. So there's good news for young Nigerians with viable business plans. They can now draw from the Youth Entrepreneurship Investment Bank established by the African Development Bank. The bank is committing $100 million for the establishment of bank. That's according to its president. He says that the intervention is part of the $2 billion investments being mobilized by the bank to support over 38,000 youth-led businesses across Africa. The initiative is part of the bank's broader strategy to transform over 465 million people under 35 years into a driving economic force. He also said that he was saying in condemnation of the exodus of youth from Nigeria and other African countries, which we know as the Japa phenomenon. He described it as a big loss for the continent and a symptom of systemic failure to invest in young people. He says young people don't need freebies. They don't need people to, they don't need people. I just want to give you an empowerment program. They don't need people saying, I just want to give you an empowerment program. They have skills, they have knowledge, they have entrepreneurship capacity. They want to turn their ideas into great businesses. And he says that, so the crisis is not of numbers. The crisis of youth leaving Africa and Nigeria, it's about opportunity. He says we have over 465 million young people between the ages of 15 and 35. The problem is not their population. It is what you do with your population, how you scale them up. He blamed a lot of the regular banking. He says the banking system is not designed for young people. He says commercial banking and financial system has failed young people. They do not, and says because of that, why are they surprised that young people are leaving? There are no programs or initiatives catered towards helping young Nigerians or Africans scale up. And so he, on the other hand, African Development Bank, is doing something to that regard. And hopefully the banking sector and financial sector is listening to this and looking to provide programs and or initiatives that will help our youths, empower our youths. Yeah.
Okay, moving on quickly now to the Punch. Marketers predict cheaper petrol nationwide as Dangote begins Naira sale. Federal government alert. 30 states rush to avert flood crisis. Federal character. Controversy over Tinubu's appointment widens. Ambassadorial list ready for National Assembly review after DSS clearance. Lynched travelers. Federal government. Edo raised joint probe panel. Kano delegation arrives Benin. P-Man faults NBC ban on Idris Abdulkarim's anti-Tinubu song. Police recover 21 AK-47 rifles, rescue 17 kidnap victims. And truck driver arrested for killing Ogunpoli student. Let's take one story for the break.
Okay, let's do P-Man. So the NBC had come and in a memo dated April 9, 2025 issued a not to be broadcast ban on Idris Abdulkarim's song. And so they had compelled all Nigerian-owned TV stations and radio stations from broadcasting this particular song. But P-Man is saying this is an unnecessary PR that has been done for Idris Abdulkarim, that the government was quick to act, but acted erroneously, that even if the ban is lifted, the song would have gained popularity. People who have not heard the song or listened to it are now streaming it because of the original ban. And I agree with P-Man, because I think this PR that the NBC is always quick to act, but they don't learn from other songs that had been banned in the past. But if you ban a song of this nature, Nigerians will gather. If you ban other songs, they will support the song. They hardly do any song that is banned, maybe for sexual content or anything, or political. The Nigerians usually stream those songs. I think that sensitization should be about the reasons for the ban. But the NBC, according to the law, because they're empowered by law, had banned this law for this song for contravening Section 318 of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code, Section 3 Section 1 subsection 8 of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code, and so it cannot be broadcasted for such sensitive reasons.
Okay.
But now everybody's clouting on it, and it's just
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
He has an audience. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let me quickly.
But show was ongoing.